Hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Val.
I'm Joanne.
And we are
Baking with Nuts.
So, what's going on?
We're getting ready for Pie Hole Day.
Pie hole day?
Thanksgiving.
Because we open our holes and shove the pie in.
Yeah.
I've never heard of pie hole day.
Pie Hole Day.
Oh, so what are you going to do?
I'm going to show you how to make a crust.
Oh, lovely, lovely,
I know,
lovely.
because there's so many different crusts that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to try a new one, see what happens.
See what happens.
And then,
Oh,
in another episode,
oh,
we'll do fancy pie toppers.
oh, that'll be so good.
I know, I'm so excited.
All right, let's get started.
Hello. Hello. So I'm going to start my pie crust.
Okay,
In the bowl, I have 2½ cups of flour
okay,
and 1¼ teaspoons salt.
yeah.
And then I'm going to add vegetable shortening and butter.
What's the difference?
Well,
Or why are you using them both together?
butter brings more flavor
Yeah.
and shortening has the fat. So
Oh.
pie crusts are like fat, flour, and water or
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
Everything should be cold
Okay.
because that will give you a flakier crust.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a, oh shoot, I forgot to cut up
Your
my
shortening.
That's
So, and you
okay.
suggest to cut it up just it's easier
In
to...
cubed, yeah, because then
Okay.
it's easier to do it. So I can do it really quick. Now,
Or you can use that thing.
well, no.
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 See, I would just take that thing right there. What is that?
A spatula.
That black thing?
Oh, that's that tool that you didn't know what it was when you were making your shorts
Oh, yeah.
and your shortbread
For my lemon bars.
for your lemon bars. And I said, oh, you should be using a pastry blender.
Ah.
And that's what that is. So I'm going to use the pastry blender.
And what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to incorporate the fats.
Okay.
And if you don't have a pastry blender, you can use 2 forks
Oh,
together,
that's a good idea.
or 2 knives.
Yeah.
I like to get all the extras off here.
Yeah.
I tend to use a knife or a fork to do it.
Yeah.
I used to do it with my hands,
Oh,
and I cut myself once, so
don't do that.
I don't do that again. Butter is necessary because when the butter melts, and I think this is how it works, don't quote me, is when the butter melts,
Yeah.
it lets off steam and then it puffs it up and that
Oh.
creates the flakiness
Okay.
of the crust.
So you're just going to keep doing this for a while?
So I'm done this.
You're done.
I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not overly chunky and it's not overly small.
And I noticed you mentioned water. When do you add the water?
I'm just going to add the water now.
Okay.
And the water should be fairly cold.
Fairly cold.
They suggest ice water.
Yeah.
Oh, a little extra piece. I'm just going to use water, bottled water,
Okay.
in the fridge. So,
Perfect.
okay.
Do you
We're
know what
back
that
at the
looks
water.
like?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That looks like what my shortbread should have looked like, crumbly, in my lemon bars.
Yes. Yes. So now we don't want it crumbly anymore.
No.
So we're going to add water, cold
Okay.
water, ice cold water.
Cold water. Can you tell me what the cold water does? Did you tell
No.
me already? No. Okay.
But I think it's
Maybe
to keep the butter cold
Emulsifies
so it doesn't all
Oh.
melt.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So we're going to do the cold water. They say to add a tablespoon at a time.
Okay.
I've made this crust before, so
How you doing it, sister?
I just pour it in a little bit at a time. It could
Okay.
be a tablespoon, it may not. And I know that for me, a ½ cup is just right.
Oh.
In the winter, if it's very dry, you may have to use up to, say, 3/4 cup
Of water.
of water.
Oh.
It depends where you live.
I would
Oops.
have never thought that you have to change it between seasons.
Oh my gosh, you have to change things between elevations. If you're in Denver, you're baking at different heats and times because of the elevation.
Oh,
I know.
You know what I'm missing?
What?
Our power mixer.
No, you're not.
I think we have to name it Goliath.
Oh, that's a good name. I was thinking about that the other day, that it needs a name.
It has its own personality. It needs its name.
It needs its
and I
name.
think it should be Goliath. I miss Goliath.
Okay, well,
But we don't have Goliath today.
not today,
But that's okay.
unless you want to make whipped cream for the pie.
Oh, maybe.
But whatever.
Yeah.
So
So
I have to lend you Goliath to take home.
I maybe.
I'm just
You're just saying. Peep, let's keep this clean.
because I could say more.
No.
But I won't.
No.
So this is basically done.
Okay.
I'm going to pour it out
On.
on my counter,
Okay. You're
which
clean.
is very clean.
Yes.
I'm going to get some flour though
Okay.
and take this away.
Okay.
So very okay. So I've just put some flour on my counter,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to flour my hands so
Oh.
they don't get sticky.
Oh, that's a good
And
idea.
now I'm going to work this into a ball,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to work it too much because again, the butter could melt.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And is that what they mean by overworking it?
Yeah. I'm also scared because I've got a lot of little floodlights in here,
Yeah.
and it can get quite toasty.
Oh, okay.
My air conditioner has come on.
Oh, so
So-
that might balance out the heat.
Yeah, but it's September, so
Yes.
where we live, you don't really expect your air conditioner to come on
We
very often.
We have 2 seasons. We have winter and construction. Amen to that.
And both of them can be
Pains in the butt.
irritating.
Yes,
Yes.
I
So,
agree. So when you have those little things fly off, you just
I'll just-
incorporate it.
put them back in.
And what's your goal here?
My goal is just to get it like this. I mean, if there's a few little things, well, we just scrape them off and throw them away.
All right.
Okay?
So what do you do with that now?
So now I'm going to use my fancy dancy bench scraper.
You are turning into your pie crust sister. Look at your shirt.
I'm not looking
Okay.
because I know.
You know.
So I should have worn an apron.
Oh,
I do this all the time. So I'm just going to cut it into 2.
into 2.
And because I think I'm a professional baker,
Okay.
I had to buy this instead of using a knife.
Oh,
my
well.
God, give my head a shake.
So now this is your pie crust.
This is my pie crust.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. This makes 1 double crust.
Yeah. Oh.
So I'm just going to wrap that up.
Is it true that you can leave pie crust in the fridge for up to 5 days?
This one you can.
Wow.
You can freeze this one too.
And
So at this stage, if you want to freeze it,
yeah,
you can just throw it in the freezer
nice.
for about 2 to 3 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
so where did you get this recipe? This is amazing.
This is Sally's Baking Addiction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm curious, she said that this recipe has been in her family for quite a number of years,
Aw,
which may mean a number of generations.
yes.
So we shall see.
Isn't it nice when people share things?
It's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
Yes.
And up to the fridge you go.
Off to the fridge I go.
All right.
Now, if I had wanted, oh no. So I've just grabbed the pie crust out of the fridge. They've been in there for 2 hours. And I just wanted to show you what it should look like. There's bits of butter, which should be there.
Okay.
So if you thought that you didn't incorporate it enough, you're fine.
Okay. And you get a bottom and a top out of that?
No, this is one
Yes.
crust.
Yes. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
so
yes.
a bottom or a top. And I
Yeah.
think you can also, if you don't need a double crust, you can half the recipe.
Oh,
But
or freeze it.
Or freeze it. Exactly.
So when you were cutting them,
Yes.
is this half of the half that you cut? These two?
No.
Okay, so
So the one recipe, the 2.5 cups of flour,
yeah,
that's all for a double crust.
double crust.
A double
I
crust.
gotcha.
Yes.
And then if you want to do a fancy crust, stuff like that, you can still do it.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And you can make a galette instead of using a pie
Don't know what a
pan.
galette
A
is.
galette is if you roll this out, put it on a sheet pan, put in some fruit,
Yeah.
and just kind of fold over the edge.
Oh,
That's a galette.
Oh,
so that's
but
an easy,
not fully covered.
not fully covered,
Ah.
and not in a pie pan. Pie
Okay.
plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I use glass for my pies.
Yeah.
And I do that because it seems to heat more consistently.
Oh.
Plus you can see the bottom to see if the bottom, because we don't want
burn pies.
we don't want that, but if you watch Great British Bake Off or the Canadian Bake Off or the Australian Bake Off,
Which is starting soon. Ooh, ooh.
the Canadian, you bet.
Yeah.
You don't want a soggy bottom.
We
As
don't
Mary
want-
Berry and Paul Hollywood would say, you don't want a soggy bottom.
We don't want a soggy bottom going in our pie hole. Maybe we should end it
Okay,
here.
I think we're done. So enjoy your pie crust
It was-
and enjoy your pie hole day.
Let me just say that it was very fast and I'm quite impressed.
There we go.
All right.